Hello, artists. Welcome back. Today we're going to take a little journey back in time into the Impressionism, and we're going to be talking about a Monet. Now, most of us know that Monet did the bridge with the lily pads, but this is a really a Monet that not a lot of people have seen or done. It is called Boats at the Bridge in Argentiville, I believe. Anyway, thanks for joining me today as we do a little bit on boats. Thanks so much. So what you're going to need is the paper, a pencil, a Sharpie, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks so much. Okay, so today we are going to be doing 3 boats, a horizon line, a little house, some trees, and a little bridge. This is the original. So in Impressionism, we didn't really specifically color things perfectly. It was more of like an impression of what the color could be. And so I left my water a little messy today to kind of show you that it's okay that there's purple and blue and white and it's kind of mixed in there. Okay, so we're going to start down here with our little boat. And most of the time we know how to draw a boat. We're going to draw just this bottom curve, and then we're going to close it off. Now, we want our boat to have some 3 dimensions. So do you see how this line doesn't come straight up? It comes at an angle. So I'm going to angle it over here, and then I'm going to come all the way to the front of my boat. So I angled it, and I came all the way to the front of my boat. So this also has overlapping in it, which we've been working on. So my second boat, I'm going to actually start with this line right here. Okay, I'm just above my other boat here. And so my other line is right there, and then it comes down and it tucks behind that boat, okay? And then the same thing, my line has to angle over and come down and tuck underneath that. And then the only thing that is different is this line comes in here, it jumps here, and it closes there. We only really see a portion of it. And remember, this is Impressionism, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, out of this space right here, I am going to draw a line up. That's going to be that part of the sail. It's not coming from the first boat, it's coming from the second boat. If you end up drawing it from the first boat, guess what? It doesn't really matter. Then we're going to do our boat in the back. So again, I'm looking at doing this line right here. So I'm going to do that line, and I'm going to come down below here, and I'm going to, this one's a little shorter, angle and down. Now, it also has a little bit of here, so I'm just going to come over here and draw right up there. This one at the very top section right there goes up as well. It goes further up than our first one. Great job, everybody. Now, I do want to double these lines, meaning that I want them to become a shape. So I'm going to go over just a little bit and come down and double those. Because that's the mast. Now, you and I have done probably boats before, so this should be nothing new. Okay, so this mast has a little bit of the sail that runs up to it. It also has a line that runs right here. So it's just going to come right down there to the front. This, however, is the bigger portion of the mast. And so it comes here. Guess what? I have to jump this portion because it is in front. I have to come back around. I got to jump it again, okay? And then I want a little bit of it sticking out on that other side. And then from this one, I'm gonna, oh, looks like I gotta jump it again, come all the way up to the top. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it. It's only a line. So then you would like string the, you would pull and the sail would come up. So it's more of like a line. Okay, super. Let's go ahead and start our horizon line. So it's gonna come across here. I crossed that string, but this one, I only have to jump is the piece of wood. So I'm jumping it again, and I'm coming across, but I'm not coming all the way, okay? Not coming all the way. This is more of like a beach area, so I'm gonna double that line up for like the beach. And I'm gonna close it off right there. So I've got a cute little house here. You and I know how to do houses. Little door, mine's 2 stories, so I've got windows up above, door down below. And then you can either come to a rectangle, a triangle, or you can do a more dimensional top like that, which looks more like angles coming in, straight line across. It's up to you. Now, there are these little trees. Actually, the trees are not little. They are in the background, but we're gonna draw them that little because they're in the foreground. Plus, it gives us perspective on the house. If the tree is pretty large, then we know the house is large also, but not super tiny. So this really cool bridge has a rectangle here, and it has a window in it. I'm not quite sure why the circle is there. At some point when I did this lesson many years ago, I put it there. I'm going to extend that line here and make my triangle on top. Also going to put some lines in there just for some detail. Okay, so I can go straight across, but I wanted to show it that it's kind of coming down at an angle. Not a whole lot of an angle. Here and here, and then this might be like the little walkway that you might see through, little lines coming down. And this bridge has 3 pillars, and then you can go between those pillars to get to the other side. So I want to think about it as shapes. So I'm going to come down on the first one, right where my beach is, and I'm going to draw in like that. It's like the letter L. Then I'm going to come down next to it, coming a little further, and draw an L again. And then I'm going to do it one more time and draw L off my paper. If you can only get 2 in there, don't worry about it. That will be just fine. So then I'm going to double these lines up here. This line and this line and that line. Okay. Now I imagine that there's a lot going on and that there might be some kind of cool type of designs or shade. So in this one I did it like this, but see how this is kind of a darker area? So I would think that maybe there's no sun shining there and you might see the silhouette of some shapes happening in that area just like that. And then the very last thing we're going to do is really like an organic, you know, trees or hill line that kind of comes right out of that. Okay, so we're going to start with the dark brown or a brown for this area right here. So I'm going to start because I want to be able to remember that these are are wood. So I'm going to color these in. And you can color this in crayon, in pencil, anything that you want. And you can mix the medias. That's okay too. Now, I like the contrast of doing the boats dark and light and darker and light, darker and light on top. So I'm going to go in, and you know how I love to go around a shape and color it in. And then this would be the bottom here. So it would be brown. And then this would be the bottom here. So I've got a pattern, don't I? Dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. And if you have more of, like, let's say, a tan color, you can use that. Or you can leave it white. So remember how I talk about how you have to move the color. So I've got brown down here. I'm going to go up here and do my browns for my windows and my doors and my areas here. Now, you can either go positive or negative. I'm going to do my shapes in here a little bit darker. And I'm also going to do this part darker so that there's contrast. So I'm really just focusing in on how I'm using this brown all the way around on my pictures. So then I'm going to take a green and I'm going to go around here. And I want to make sure that I'm coloring my tree roundish, meaning that my tree is round, so my color is going on in round motions. Uh-oh, I forgot to do the tops of my houses. I'm going to use that same brown that I used down below here and here, like that. So let's talk about my water. So I'm going to use something like a crayon. If I use crayon over marker, I don't really have to worry so much about the about going or getting the crayon into the areas that I don't want it to. I can be a little less careful. And plus, remember, this is Impressionism. So I'm putting that coat down below, and I'm going to go up, and I'm going to put also a little bit of that same blue in the sky. If you want to use air and do clouds, you can. I like to go back in with a darker blue and kind of put my clouds in that way sometimes. And then I'm going to take a crayon, and these are all, this is kind of like a tree line here. So I'm going to color that tree line. And because it's trees and it's organic, I'm not going to color it up and down. I'm actually going to color it roundish. So I'm coloring little round, so that it looks like it's pretty organic. Now I used a darker color there. I can go back in and fill the background in if I want with a lighter green, and it will show some contrast. So this is a typical project that I would do, maybe turn into a painting for one of my summer camps. So I think the original painting must have come out of that, and I must have done it for one of my summer camps. So as I was looking for something that was a Monet and had boats, I came across this one, and I was like, oh, I want to do that one. So I'm going to go back with my tan that I used down here, and I'm going to do my beach I'm also going to go over my house here and over my bridge, just like that. But my water is not strong enough. I mean, it's just got that blue in it. And although the blue is really pretty, I might want to go in and put some areas that are darker blue in there so that I have lights and darks. And I might also, especially along the shore, because it's lighter when it gets towards me, put some purples in the background, like that. So one of the things we kind of want to look at is that this area right here, you might be able to see through. And there you go. So just a really fun, kind of relaxed project on how to do boats that are overlapping. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Take some time, go ahead and finish it up. And I just wanted to say thanks for joining me for another fun lesson. Again, this was Monet Boats at the bridge in Argentina. It's Argentuil. So thanks for joining me. I miss you all. I hope we are together again soon. Thank you and have a wonderful day.